And the kids, well, they were all just a bit off, awkward, extra pale. I hadn't thought of them in years, but they were the first image to pop into my mind as my son mentioned homeschooling. Hey, Josiah, why don't you go outside and play with your brothers before we have to go to soccer? I suggested, hoping to end this conversation before it progressed any further. Josiah obediently let it go and joined his brothers outside. But I couldn't let it go. Later that night when Dave came home, I told him about Josiah's unexpected question. Dave brushed it off. Homeschool? Can you even, do that legally? I don't know. I think kids need to be... Dave brushed it off. Homeschool? Can you just do that, legally? I don't know. I think kids need to be around other kids. I don't think doing school at home would be a good idea. Plus, you're always burned out on the kids. There's no way you could handle it. Ouch, that one hurt. But he was right. If I couldn't keep it together from 7 to 8 a.m. when I was getting everyone ready for school, there was no way I could have my kids home with me all day, right? Or could I? I loved these boys so much it hurt my heart to think of how much I love them. Maybe I could homeschool them. But how? What do you teach a 7-year-old all day long? Jonah wasn't even reading yet. There was no way I could teach a kid to read, could I? Even with teaching credentials under my belt, teaching kids at home felt like an entirely different undertaking. And homeschooling would make them strange, right? And me too? I mean, the denim jumper look just wasn't my thing. Oh, and then there's college. I would never know how to prepare a kid for college. Never mind, this was all just crazy talk. Well, the anxious thoughts kept coming, one after another, And finally, the anxious thoughts kept coming, one after another, followed by questions, fears, doubts. But the idea wouldn't leave my mind, and gradually, over the next few weeks, those negative thoughts turned to curiosity, and strangely enough, a bit of excitement began to creep in. Finally, I decided to at least pray about it, and I asked Dave to pray as well. By the following fall, my 2 oldest sons were doing school at home with me. Son number 3, Luke, had started preschool, but he would eventually join us at home as well. I still had a lot of questions and even more self-doubt. We didn't know what we were doing at the time, but now I know. We were becoming homeschoolers. All right, guys, it's very tempting for me to just keep reading, but I guess that's what I did in the audio version of the book. So you can find that. There'll be a link in show notes, or just look on Amazon wherever you buy books, and you can continue to read and hear more of our story and the things we have learned from homeschooling, how our family has grown. And again, I do share those 20 good reasons to homeschool. And there's a lot of things that have to do with academics and college and statistics, things kids get to avoid by being homeschooled, like school violence and bullying. But at the end of the day, my very favorite thing about homeschooling is the relationships I've built with my boys and the relationships I've seen them develop together. Our family's so close, and now that I have 3 young adults in the family, and even seeing them and their relationship with my 14-year-old has been incredible. And I just feel so grateful and so blessed. And I just want and hope and pray that any of you who think about homeschooling might consider giving it a shot. Most of us didn't start off with a strong desire to be homeschool parents, but once we made that choice, God blew us away by how great it was. And I'll never deny that there's been some very hard moments. It is a challenge all the time, but goodness, worth every minute of it. So that's my little offering for you this Mother's Day.